And the reason it's stored as glycogen is because storing glucose in the cell is quite dangerous. It would exert an osmotic pull. We talked about this a bit last week. It would result in excess water moving into the cells. We showed it with the red blood cells, but it can cause the cells to rupture because it will pull the water in. The glycogen, however, doesn't. It's much safer for the cells. It won't pull the water in. So instead of storing glucose, we convert it into something called glycogen because it's osmotically inert. It doesn't pull the water. And this process, we're making glycogen. So it's called glycogenesis, genesis to make, glycogenesis, because we're making glycogen. There is only a certain amount of space we can store glycogen, and the rest of it's then converted into fat. So we need to do the opposite as well. If we haven't eaten for quite some time, we need to return that glycogen into glucose so that we can get blood glucose levels up around the cells, because we need a constant supply of glucose to keep us going. We need a constant supply of oxygen as well to keep us going. We need oxygen and glucose. Oxygen, fine, we can breathe. Glucose, not so easy because we don't eat constantly. So we store it and then release it out of storage. So if we get too much glucose in the blood, as we were just saying, the pancreas produces insulin, and that insulin, which I've drawn in green, will enter the blood, and then that allows the glucose to be absorbed by the body cells and the liver, so the muscle in the liver. And that means the circulating blood glucose is reduced. And then if we get too little glucose in the blood, which is needed for energy, cellular respiration, it's gone to too much. Is that the wrong way? No, I think I've got the, yeah, I think I've got the same bit then. But anyway, if you get too little in the blood, sorry, I haven't got the slides for that. They're the same ones that doubled up there. If you get too little glucose in the blood, like we've got here, the blood glucose levels falls, the hormone glucagon is released. And what happens then is that glycogen will be converted back into the glucose molecule, which can be used for energy. And then we call this glycogen lysis because we are splitting the glycogen. So lysis means to split. So we have glucogenesis and glycogen lysis going on.